up there at the boat shop, come down there and get it, and told him it just quit right there in the middle of the lake, and he called me a little while later and said, well, if you put some gas in it, it would start running. And he bought that whole assembly. It wasn't that much trouble to put in there. You just buy the whole assembly and take the screws out, take the wires loose, and put it out, pull it out, put a new one in it. Yeah, that's all it was to it. That old John Deere tractor of mine's got a float in it that rides up and down, and you'd about be well off just pop the cap off and look in there. That is accurate. Yeah. What was it, a 35? Oh, God almighty. I had a train that was a million there. What was the model number of it? You don't know what it was you saw. Okay. It was a 35. It was made in 1960. It was a 35. Yeah, I think you can. CK4A. Oh, you can. It had a 3-cylinder Perkins diesel in it. Hey, Randy. Hey. I said it had a 3-cylinder Perkins diesel in it. Most likely. It may have been gas. About the 3-cylinder, but a 6-cylinder is perfectly balanced. You don't have to put a bunch of counterbalances on the crankshaft, and a 4-cylinder is way off, so you have to put a bunch of counterbalances on your crankshaft to balance the 4-cylinder, which it ain't a problem, but you just have to do it. got one hole now, all I remember is two-cylinder. I was on a tractor pull one day, it rained in, I was pulling and driving the John Deere with two-cylinder, one of the newer two-cylinders, I forget the model number, but man, it made the awfulest loud crack you ever seen. I looked around this time to see the front end come back down, the hitches around the crankshaft, the flywheel just sat there and kept right on spinning. He just busted the crankshaft. Yeah. I think about the latest ones of those the big two-cylinders they made was like the 830. You know, they made the R's, the letters, you know, and then they made the 40s and the, I don't know, all the 40s and the 60s, but like that 830 diesel that they had, I always wanted one, but that 830, you had to start it with a pony motor. Oh yeah, no, these were gas tractors. Yeah. Well, most of those, like the 40s and the 60s and the R's and all of those, the engine laid flat. Yeah. And when they got through with that 820 series and 830s, 520s, 530s, 820s, 830s, they went to the 10s, like a 2010, 3010, 4010, and then they went to the 20s, 2020s, 3020s, 4020s. Yeah. I don't know any reason why they would do that unless it's an orchard tractor. Not all the big John Deeres. As a matter of fact, I bush hogged 100 acres for a guy about 2 or 3 years ago with a 200 horsepower John Deere tractor, and it had a stack right straight out the top like the old days. Well, it's probably just keep it out of the way. I had a 2020. I've run that thing for a few years. That was a good tractor. I spent a lot of money on it getting it back in good shape, and I sold it to my brother-in-law. He still got it. They're better off rent one to do what you need to do and take it back. That boy leases my land. He's got a big one that's ain't had a new motor put in it not too terribly long ago, and they quoted him $16,000 and ended up charging him about $30,000. It turned out that the new motor wasn't quite the same width, and they had to put something in there to, you know, those things are settled down, and of course a couple of big pieces of steel, or maybe 8 by 1.5 inches or something like that, where that motor's cradled in. Anyhow, they had to bend that to get the new motor to fit in there, and blah 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 blah. But they wanted to charge him like $30,000 when they quoted him 16. Yeah. This Xiegu pulled up here. Hey, Marty. Well, Well, good evening, James. It's Marty. Hey, Marty. Hey, Marty. Hey, Marty. WDA radio. Steve and Lee. Yeah, well. You know, Henry James, poor old Gunner, he's getting dumber by the day. He's getting dizzy now. And got some, he got dizzy. Twins. Hey, Johnny, twins this morning. I'm going to go down there and borrow that big tractor sometime here next week or so and run around my fields just next to the woods with a soil saver and break all them roots up that's coming out into the field. Yeah. Kind of fun running a 200 horsepower tractor every now and then. Especially when you don't know what you're doing. It's fun driving my Honda sometimes. That was a joke. Yeah. I'd like to have a single blade soil saver. Do y'all know what a soil saver is? Yes, I do. Well, I'd like to have just a single soil saver where I could just put it on the back of my tractor and pull it around the edge of them fields and even my yard as far as that goes, where the trees come. Cut the roots off. Yeah. You make one, don't you? I don't know. I tried to find one. I looked on Craigslist and all. It's been a long time ago, but I seen a Caterpillar tractor with one on the back of it. It looked like it was a single blade. Yeah, they used to be a thing back in the day because people, if they, guys run a water line out to their barn or something like that, and they'd take that soil saver and it had a little hole run through the middle of it where you could basically bury a hose with it. Or a piece, of that black polyethylene pipe. Yeah. I think that's it with stuff. Yeah, they won't, What about it? And 4AH. Hey, Don, is it gas or diesel? Alright. What day for you, see? You pulled up there. And 4 in pieces. Hey, JP, how you doing? What'd you have for breakfast? What'd you have for lunch, JP? Oh, ooh. What'd you have for supper? I went to the restaurant lunch and I got stew beef and gravy and cream potatoes and gravy and green beans and gravy puppies. Gravy. Yeah, them women, they know how to cook some stuff. It's salty and greasy and nasty. spaghetti for lunch, and I had a big old cheeseburger for supper. Hey, JT. Well, send it to Randy. Randy can send it to me. Send them to me, JP. I'll send them to her. Is it? Is it in? Ah, hell. Never mind. Is it for hot dog chili? Ah. Go ahead. For hot dog sauce. Just read them off to him, JP. We ain't doing nothing. Yeah. Oh, just send it to Randy. Yeah, I'll forward him to it. We don't need the airtime. Why can't you send them to you, Bruce? I don't understand. There's something between his server and my server, and they don't like each other. He ain't got no phone, Marty. What? He ain't got no phone. He ain't got no phone. JP will send them to me on the phone, and then I'll email them to Bruce. Oh, you got this to Bruce. Email and your phone will go right to Bruce. Well, apparently not. Have you tried that, JP? Well, how in the hell are you going to email me something? Just send it to Randy. Yeah, send it to me. It won't take 30 seconds. Anytime I send Bruce something off my phone, I just type his email address into my phone. As in the text message, I go create a new text message, and I just type Bruce's email address in there, who to send to, and then I type out the message or paste the message or whatever, and hit send, and it goes to him. Yeah, okay. That's what I said. Don't worry about it. You just keep hanging around us in here, and we'll have you shine horse turds that look like mine. Hey, is these secret recipes, or I send them to somebody's house, Bruce? Hell, I seen Superman take a piece of coal, make a diamond out of it. Yeah? I did too. Hey, Rain for what's her name? Yeah. For Lois. Yeah. My daddy said when he was in grammar school, it was a one-room school, and there was just one teacher, and a mouse got loose and run up her dress, and she grabbed that mouse and squeezed a gallon of water out of it. Only whatever you want to, JP. What did Burrhead say? He had a rat run up his pants at the CD dump? Yeah. Beautiful. That's beautiful. They closed this over here on White Street in Greensboro. I don't know where they're hauling it now, but it looks like a big mountain over there, grass growing on it. Yeah. I'd like to have that piece of property. It must be, I wouldn't doubt it ain't 1,000 acres. And it's right there, you know, just nestled up against Greensboro, but that's where the city dump was like forever. Yeah. It'd be a hell of a place to hunt and that kind of thing. I'm looking at Facebook. For Southwest Virginia hot dog chili sauce. That's the hell don't start. Hot dog sauce. Isn't that beautiful? This is that's pathetic. I don't know. I think he's been eating some of them mushrooms. You're talking about those old big 2-cylinder John Deere tractors. You can find some YouTube videos where they start those things up, and it's pretty cool. They start that pony motor, and it's 4,000 RPM. That's just where it's governed at. And they get that thing running, and then they pull it and start turning the big motor over, but the big motor don't have no compression on it. So, but they watch the oil pressure, and when the oil pressure comes up on that big motor, then they turn the compression on it. It's a pretty cool sequence. Probably the same way they started those old Caterpillar, you know, bulldozers that had pony motors and all that stuff. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, the company had the old Davidic, they had one, and was always in there doing something with it, and they had a pony motor on it. Yeah. That thing had an excavator attachment, which had a bucket on the front that went straight up. It's like a framework on the front of it. And he had a bucket that bucket would tilt to empty it, but it went straight up that frame. It didn't articulate or anything. I was going to put up some land from the woods, you know, with just thickets and stuff. I think she had was a D9 and it had a button on it on. Yeah, they've been running them D9s forever. I don't know what letter they're down to now, but they still make a D9, but it's probably a J, a K, or a L or R or something like that. They've been making them things for, what, 50 years, 60 years? Yeah, that was back in the 60s when I had that done. We had a gravel yard. I had that 400 motors like this, started to go from the side, you know. I remember back in the day, you had to get a permit to haul one of them D9s. You know, they weighed so much. Yeah. There was a guy here did some work for us out of D7. That's plenty big enough. I'd like to have had it. Ford, that's a good. How big for you, see? Came for a H. You know, once in a blue moon, you'll see a train car load of them things going down the railroad tracks, you know, 8, 10, 12, 15 of them. I don't know how much they weigh, but they way too big to haul down the highway. I don't know where they're going with them. It's been a long week. Yeah. Hey, JP must be sending me 20 darn recipes. My phone's been dinging ever since he stopped talking. Yeah. The only thing Bruce is interested in how to make that hot dog. Oh my God! Don't do that! See, we ID at 40. Oh, but we're going to. Yeah, 480. He did. Well, both phones, yeah, let me see how many's on this phone. Put down 23 is terrible. Well, he's much longer rocket. Hey, Bruce, he sent me 12 so far. That's 13. I don't know. He sends me and Roberdale and JPY. Where are you going? Good night, Ed. If I got to do, I see you, and if I got to do all these one at a time. Oh? What's that? I don't get stuff like that. Yeah. I've got 13 of them. Dang! A variety of them, different recipes, and they were meatloaf recipes and hot dog sauce. you in the game. Glad you give me a shout. Good evening to you, and take care, get your shower, and have a good day tomorrow. I'll talk to you later. Renee down my road.
See you, Jimmy J. Jimmy J, good night. That day for you, see ya.
I got the first picture, Randy, but there ain't no recipe. Randy? Oh, he's over at the computer.
Now he's sending off his phone.
Oh, that's that obvious move. Here, phone both of them.